Hello again. We are back with one more video, and today's video is all about our top 5 headless CMS choices for SaaS companies. If you're new here, a quick introduction. I'm Vishen Purna, and this channel is all about headless CMS, composable commerce, strategies, and more. Now, before we get into this detail of the video, who this video is for? I mean, if you're a CTO, CPO, PM, growth lead, or founder of a SaaS product currently using WordPress or Wix, and you're exploring the best headless CMS options for SaaS, then you likely already understand what a headless CMS is. And I don't have to give you like a brief, detailed instruction about the same. I know that you're seeking insight from others about the top choices. You have been running around through the internet as well. So I know you're at the stage of making a final call. So making the final call on which headless CMS to use is actually a big deal. Hey, come on now. Obviously, you're not paid for the hours that you work, right? You're paid for the decisions that you make. So this video is actually for you. You can stick on, but for the rest of the folks, it's totally up to you if you want to watch this. Now let's understand what is the challenges. Like, what are the real challenges that companies face, right? When you search for best headless CMS for SaaS, you are likely to get a lot of blogs, lot of surface level blogs, SEO driven lists, and biased reviews as well. And most of them lack actionable insights, the real details. I mean, which is basically hidden behind paywalls or gated PDFs and buried under the whole marketing noise. So one of the biggest challenges we have seen when selecting the CMS for a SaaS company, uh, that includes some of the following reasons, like say for example a migration concern. Most SaaS companies are on WordPress, so or like similar platforms, right? So they are always worried about how a new CMS can handle the entire migration of say blogs or the content SEOs and the URLs without losing performance or ranking. So that's the first thing. Also, to follow up is also the cost and the ROI, right? CMS platforms can actually get really expensive, and teams are sometimes unsure about the return on investment, especially when there is no clear performance gain early on. So that's the second point. Following up is the third point, which is about the marketing agility that we have, right? SaaS companies often spend millions on ads. A major concern is how quickly marketing teams can adapt to the new CMS. Say, for example, launch pages fast and make decisions without depending on developers. So, in this video, we'll cover all these challenges, right? So, that is exactly why I'm here to explain this to you, because you work with different SaaS companies. So, trust me, we know how it works. So, spending weeks or months digging through the content, blogs, process insights, just to make the right decisions, we understand where you're coming from. And honestly, that's why I started this channel, to help you make that decisions real quick. So we'll break down the best options, when to use what, how pricing scales, and what to watch out for, especially as your team and content needs to grow. So stick around, I'll explain, and you can actually gain a lot from this video. Now, the thing is, why should you listen to me? I mean, if you are here in my channel, if you've watched my other videos, you'll already know, but I'll still reiterate. I've been building modern web products for over a decade right now. I run a focus team called VFrame Tech, and this is what I've been doing for a living. We specialize in headless CMS solutions. We have worked with wide range of real world projects. We work directly with billion-dollar companies, billion-dollar companies like Abax, Unimake. Unimake is a leader in Australia, and Samsung, Lamborghini, likes of OnePlus. So you name a lot of the big names. We work with them either directly or through vendor systems. We have been involved in big projects. So obviously, you can check out some of our client testimonials on our website. We keep it transparent. We've got testimonials from teams we've helped move fast and scale them as well. So no fluff, just results. Apart from this, since you would like to know more about me and my team, we have our own Upwork profiles, and all of them are top rated. So personally, I myself am one of the top rated developers on Upwork, both as individual and through the agency as well. So all of these things you can actually walk through. And obviously, in terms of expertise, we work with 10 plus headless CMSs, 8 plus e-commerce platforms. So yeah, this is in brief about who we are. We have seen teams evolve, we've seen how content needs shift, we've seen how fast a wrong CMS turns into a technical debt that slows everything down. So yeah, whatever I'm speaking today isn't just theory. All of it comes from practical experience. We've built internal tools, SaaS dashboards, developer portals, product documentation, marketing sites, all using Headless CMS. And we've seen firsthand with what works, what doesn't, what a nightmare is. So we are not tied to any vendor, and that's the key. We don't push the popular tool. We match tools with the need, with the business model, with the team size, with the technical stack, a lot of the other things. So yes, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, here again, another concern that will always be there is what am I supposed to learn here? You're probably so what are we covering today? Let's put it this way. What are we covering today? The top headless CMSs in 2025. When to use developer for CMSs, when low-code solutions like Directus or Sanity makes more sense, and say pricing breakdowns, especially how costs scale as you grow. What are the red flags while choosing a CMS? The ROI, all of these things. So let me quickly walk you through this block. Sorry, I was just shifting around. So this is one of the blogs on our website, which you can walk through, which you can read through. It is going to take some time for you to go through. It will give you a lot of details as to why and what. But this video, I'm going to make it very simple for you. You can watch this video, and if you like the video, you can probably go ahead and read the blog in detail. So, so yeah, let's just quickly jump in. Um, let's start with the kind of CMSs that we have right now. So the best headless CMS for B2B SaaS. This list comes from purely from experience. When we say a certain number of CMSs here, that this doesn't imply that the other CMSs cannot be used. This is our first-hand experience, what we have done with clients and what has worked for us. So the list goes like Directus, Sanity, Strapi, Contentful, Storyblok. All of this, so as the note suggests, this is a quick list of headless CMS platforms for SaaS products purely based on our experience. This is not to say that X or Y or Z CMSs aren't going to work, correct? So this is what we have used, and these have really worked well. So depending on different requirements, which I'm going to come to later. Now, when we look at this, right, like when we look at the decision framework as to how to choose the right headless CMS, right, so that is quintessential. Like, what exactly defines the right CMS and how do we choose it? So you will have to assess your team structure, you will have to evaluate technical requirements, you'll have to consider your growth trajectory. When picking a headless CMS, right, there's no one size fit all solutions, right? The right choice depends heavily on your team structure, first of all, like and obviously onto your growth stage as well, where your company is. If your organization is developer first, then probably choose, say, Strapi or Directors will give you, because it will give your engineers the control that they need. On the other hand, if it's a marketing led charge, so you would want to be with something intuitive and market friendly, like, say, for example, a Sanity or Contentful. Then think of those your, I mean, these are the requirements that you have to set first as to what we are and what exactly suits our organization. Obviously, you'll have to evaluate your technical requirements, the customizations that you need, the database flexibility that you need, what are the enterprise integrations that we have. So your CMS should match the level of complexity you're ready to manage. Finally, obviously, the consider the growth trajectory. Finally, your growth stage matters. Startups might prefer simplicity, while mid-market and enterprise companies need scalability and integration along with it. So the best CMS is the one that fits your team, tech, and tomorrow, not just today. So just remember this line: it is not just today, but also about tomorrow that you'll have to look into. So the next thing that I would like to jump upon is why choosing the right headless CMS matters for a B2B SaaS. Now, when we look at uh, any SaaS company, for the matter of fact, CMS isn't just a back-end content tool; it's a central engine of your digital ecosystem. Say, for example, for a B2B SaaS, right? This tool powers your website, supports your marketing, enables your team to publish content consistently and confidently. More importantly, it shapes the customer experience, speed, reliability, and personalization, beat anything. A poor CMS right now, right? Let's assume that you choose a poor CMS. It can slow you down with rigid structures, say a poor integration and maintenance. It's going to be a nightmare for you guys. The right one will help your content team move fast, your developers stay unblocked, and your growth stay on track. Now that makes me come to the point about key reasons to choose the right headless CMS. It could be performance, it could be scalability, it could be security and compliance, it could be marketing capability, it could be integration with tech stack, it could be no vendor lock-in. So when I say all these things, right, it also drives you like why. Say for example, more performance will give you will drive better SEO. Scalability will ensure you're ready as traffic and team grows and when your company scales. Security, it protects your brand and customer data. Marketing capabilities, obviously, it empowers your team with SEO personalization. Integration means your CMS you can talk to multiple other systems, say CRM, analytics, anything, or an automation tool. So obviously, no vendor lock-in keeps your options open as your business evolves. So your CMS choice impacts speed, scale, security, success. So choose like your growth depends on it because it absolutely does. So after this, the next point that we have want to touch base upon is why headless CMS is the future of B2B SaaS. Now, headless CMS is the future of many companies, but in terms of why it would really helps B2B SaaS is also because, say, unlike traditional CMS platforms, right, where the content and presentation layers are tightly coupled, headless CMS separates the backend and the front end, right? This is like a basic definition of it. Now, for developers, this means more freedom to build modern frameworks. For marketers, it will means that it's a faster content shipping, a fewer bottlenecks. For business, it means faster go to market, cleaner content experiences, omni-channel consistency, right? So in short, if I have to talk, right, headless CMS gives you business more speed, flexibility, and freedom. That's exactly why it's quickly becoming the go-to choice for modern SaaS companies. Like this line says, the last line. Now, let's look at the key benefits of headless CMS for B2B SaaS. I mean, these are like the five key benefits that we have listed. There might be many. So, one is obviously the performance and speed that I've spoken about. Your site loads faster because content is pre-built and served by a CDNs, which improves the SEO and user experience. While there is enhanced security, headless CMS are hard to hack as they use APIs and don't expose admin portals or plugins the way traditional CMS platforms do. There's a lot of customization flexibility. You're not limited to a theme or a structure. Developers can build using any end-to-end front-end framework. Um, Scalability for business growth, obviously, whether you're managing a 10 pages or 10,000 pages, a good headless CMS can handle large content libraries, high traffic, and multi-brand setup. Also looking at omni-channel content distribution, obviously the same content goes to your website, it goes to your mobile app, it goes to your chatbot, it goes to smartwatch, wherever, whatever you want. So a headless CMS doesn't just manage content, it scales, secures, supercharges it across every channel. Now let's look at the features to look for in a CMS for a B2B SaaS. Composability, intuitive UI, speed and performance optimization, seamless integration, SEO, A/B testing, personalization, scalability and future proofing, robust security features. I mean, I cannot emphasize on these features. These might just look like pointers to you, but these are quintessential before you choose a CMS. When I talk about composability, right, I'm saying, can you build your content in a modular way? This helps scale and reuse, right? Now, when you talk about user friendliness, intuitive UI, right, your marketing and content team should be able to publish without calling for a developer. If it's not an intuitive UI, it becomes really difficult for them. They're obviously not technical. So you make their lives easier by using an intuitive or user friendly editor. Now, performance optimization. Now, say built-in features like image optimization, caching, and pre-rendering should be native, like not bolted on, right? It should be. it should have a seamless integration, say with a CRM or an email automation, analytics or personalization tool. And scalability and marketing features are always important. I mean, that's to look at, will it support your next stage of growth without forcing a migration? The last thing that you would probably need is like go to another thing and migrate, go to another CMS and migrate, right? So you need to think about it. So security obviously ensure that the platform supports API auth, role based access, and encryption. So the best CMS in terms of all of this should, it's not like it should be visible, it can be invisible, but it just should work across teams, tools, and touch points. As simple as that. Now, the final and most important thing that we're looking at right now is the pricing. When switching to or planning a headless CMS, right? Pricing is one of the important, crucial factors that you have to look at. Obviously, you're not just building for today; you're building uh, for like say 15, 20 years, or for like forever, right? Like, because depends on your scale, the way you scale, but at least you're looking at the next 5 to 10 years, solid 5 to 10 years. Now let's look at a real world scenario which makes sense while choosing a CMS. Say for example, a fast growing B2B SaaS platform, right, with 5 billion visitors, 50 million APIs, 15 plus user roles, and managing content. So if you look at this example, right, this is like a hypothetical example just to give you a brief about amongst the CMS platforms that we have listed, what approximate annual cost that might come in. Say for the Directus might be around $40,000, while Strapi might be around 45,000, which very close by, very similar in terms of working. But obviously, Strapi has some of those things behind their paid plan, while Directus it comes with free. Sanity might go up till around 60,000, but obviously it gives you like real content collaboration, has been used by a lot of the companies. Contentful is going to be about obviously be a little more expensive because of its enterprise level security and global and the global brand, and obviously integrations and stuff. And Storyblok, if you're looking for something visual CMS, and for say for a marketing or content team, with like drag and drop and stuff, it's around $40,000, almost in a similar range. So the costs that have been presented here are approximation and what we have seen in the latest data that we have. Now, when you look at all of these things, right, you should also consider the key consideration that you need to have while choosing it. So, when comparing CMS platform, don't just look for licensing fees, right? Look at the cost of ownership. Consider how pricing is structured. Are you paying per API call, per user role, per content model? Make sure the pricing model aligns with your content usage, not just your team size. Scalability is key. What feels affordable at launch might end up being a nightmare for you, right? Like as you grow. Also consider the hidden costs like the time to market, developer hours, third party plugins, dependencies. So a lot of the things that you have to look at before you choose a CMS. It is not an easy game. So pick a CMS that scales with your business, not your budget headaches. So when will the project start reaping benefits? I'm not going to get into this. This is, you can actually read through it. It's a detailed explanation about what are the conversions rate, what are the operational cost savings, what are the payback periods. Everything is detailedly given in this blog. You just have to go and read this, and it will give you like uh, fair amount of idea about what am I getting into and what will help me. So how do you shortlist vendors? I think this is one of the things that we need to look into. So with so many options, right, like with so many options, with so many people around, how do you choose? So I think it always comes down to certain key factors like market leaders versus niche solutions. Like start by separating market leaders from the niche tools. Some offer polished features, but can be really expensive at scale. Others, like say Directus or Strapi, right, are open source and give you more flexibility at a lower cost. So obviously there is vendor bias and agency recommendation that's always going to be there, and you'll have to, many agencies recommend certain CMS platform over the other, obviously because there is a lot of partners and commissions that come in. So you will have to validate if this recommendations aligns with your scalability, pricing, and requirements that you have. So also remember, right, like because of these agency recommendations, you need to always check the real user reviews, say on G2, say on Captera, say on Reddit. I mean, you can learn from all of these communities. And obviously open source and are the new entrants, and solutions like Directus and Strapi are gaining traction due to its developer first and open source flexibility. So if your developer wants full control and look into the open source CMS, they provide more freedom, especially when you're managing high volume and API heavy experiences. So validate every CMS with your team's needs, real world reviews, and long term growth plans, and then choose the CMS. So in short, if you have to look at the future of SaaS content management, if you have to say traditional CMS systems no longer support the speed, scale, flexibility that CMS that the SaaS business needs. As customer expectations grow, content has to move faster, appear across multiple channels, and obviously be personalized as well. That's why a headless CMS is winning right now in the current world. They separate the structure from design, letting developers build freely, marketers publish with confidence. Whether you are scaling to millions of users or localizing it for, like, say, 10 markets, a headless CMS can handle it. So, in the future of SaaS, your content platform isn't just supporting growth, it's driving it. I mean, that could be like a right sentence to say. So if we go back, right, if we head back, I think we've covered most of it. I think that these are like the companies that are using headless CMS. I mean, so many companies, so many great companies are using it right now. And if you are somebody who's thinking about moving to headless, I think this is your validation. You should not, you should jump into it, but be cautious about what headless CMS to choose. Obviously, if somebody is on WordPress right now and is more trying to move and is to there's a quick comparison that probably I would probably make with the Jamstack and WordPress is around um, 8 to 10 seconds for average load time, while it increases, say, around four times faster, say around 1.85 to 2.31 seconds. Qualified lead percentage again increases by around 71%. Bounce rate for 60% with WordPress will increase to around bounce rate, sorry, not increase, bounce rate should decrease. So bounce rate decreases to around 46.45. So, and when we look at the total site views, right, it's around 150 to 200k. Would obviously, this is an example of what we're talking about. 150 to 200k will reach to almost double, around 400 to 500k. So, and the conversions, everything gets doubled, and obviously negative points gets um, um, halved as well. So obviously conversion rates 2% goes to around 5%, again doubled with improved site speed. And monthly cost of maintenance, which is $1,000, it's half, so around $500. So obviously you need to look, it's 2x in terms of positive outcome and half in terms of negative outcomes, right? So it's a great switch. The total savings, it's basically like more like, obviously you'll end up saving around $5,900 from WordPress jams. These are like just examples of what has happened, and I will not get into it too much right now. Obviously, conversions increase, visitors increase, your revenue increases by doing all this. Now, let me give you like a small stat. Say 80% of the businesses that don't have headless architecture today say they plan to implement in the next 2 years. And 83, I mean, we have also written the source here. Source is coming from the Commerce Salesforce 2022. 83% of the respondents who have implemented a Jamstack approach anticipate a lower total cost of ownership over the next 3 years. Over the next 3 years, you need to understand that. And lowering the TCO is quintessential for a business. So, and 86% of the marketers at a large enterprise are frustrated with their current CMS. And we understand because we've seen so many clients getting frustrated. So, and according to the Forrester report, right, after 3 years of using headless CMS, there's 582% of ROI, 300% of productivity boost, 6 month payback period. I don't think there is any reason for you to not choose a headless CMS today. But again, you might be confused. You might, even after all this, there are chances that you might be confused, and you might need expert guidance, platform experience. I mean, obviously, all of these things are there. So we offer you 20 hours of free development time, including one-on-one consultations to help you evaluate your needs, pick the right CMS, and design the right content architecture for your product roadmap. Because I'm telling you, like, why work with us? I've already told you, because we've actually built SaaS products, not just marketing sites. We know what is it like to deal with user roles, granular permissions, localizations, gated content, feature flags, all the real world stuff that doesn't get mentioned on CMS tutorials. We've helped teams ship clean, scalable CMS product without rebuilding 6 months later, which a lot of them do. Our company website and my Calendly link are below. Please book a call and let's talk through your setup. And of course, like, subscribe, and stick around. We've got no fluff content coming on Headless CMS and SaaS product architecture, how to build systems that actually work at scale. Catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.